Manchester United 1, Athletic Bilbao 1. Manchester United's pre-season ends in Dublin with a draw. Of course, today it wasn't the first teamers per se, it was the backup players. Some senior players certainly in there as well, no doubt about that. But indeed, it ends with a draw. A last-minute Facundo Pellistri goal cancels out a goal in the first half by Bilbao, stemming from an Harry Maguire mistake. Where do you start with this one? Well, let's start off with positives. And actually, no, let's try and tell this in a linear fashion. I think that's the best thing to do. That's what I'll try and do. Tell it in a linear fashion. So, how this one went is we should have been 1-0 up after 3 minutes. Jadon Sancho threw on goal. That's going to be the key thing. If he's going to play as a false nine, I think today he played well again. I thought Sancho looked lively. I thought he looked bright. I think that false nine role can work for him. The only difference is just if he's going to play in that role, you're still technically a striker at the end of the day, so you need to take your chances. And that was a gilt-edged chance by Jadon Sancho that he missed. He didn't look comfortable. He misses that, but you're thinking, oh, United have started bright. Passing was crisp. Passing was good. Everyone was linking up well, whether it was Donny van der Beek or whether it was Christian Eriksen. United just looked good. Facundo Pellistri on the right-hand side. United looked lively. And as the half went on, United had good build-up play. Apart from that, didn't really take many... Or didn't look like they were really threatening. The goalkeeper didn't have to make many more saves apart from that. Seemingly, though, a bit like in our other preseason games, we're in control. And what causes the goal to go in? A sloppy mistake, an individual error. I don't know how many more times I have to do these fan views in preseason and say the same thing, which is individual errors keep costing us. You look at Real Madrid, individual errors. Look at the goals we conceded against Borussia Dortmund. Pretty much every single one was an individual error, a sloppy pass, sideways pass to a opposition player, and then next thing you know, they've scored a goal. Yesterday against Lens at Old Trafford, same thing. Dalot, sloppy pass, they score. And today it was the same from Harry Maguire. Sloppy pass, I don't know who he thinks he's going to pass it to outside of the foot. And then they score. And I mean, just look on Harry Maguire, because I know, again, people will be focusing a lot on him, and rightfully so. I don't need to say more, I don't think, than what I've already said when it comes to Harry Maguire, which is I think he needs to leave for the sake of his career. I'll always say that I think the criticism of him, keep it to football, keep it fair. I saw and heard today that people were booing him inside the ground, and then other people were cheering him to try and counteract or counterbalance the boos, which I don't think is right. I mean, obviously, look, if you buy a ticket, you can do what you want within reason when you go to a ground, but you're called a supporter for a reason, right? Support the players. But I think it's also right to be fair when it comes to the criticism with Harry Maguire is. The writing was on the wall last season. He wasn't playing. He was fourth choice last season. There are several players ahead of him. At the time, he was the captain, but still there was Martinez, Varane, Lindelof, arguably Luke Shaw, all ahead of him in the centre-back position. Over the summer, he's no longer the captain. He lost the captaincy because of not a disciplinary issue, not because he had a falling out with the manager, not because he's getting sold or anything like that. He lost it because there were better options, like there are better options at centre-back when it comes to him. And someone needs to sit him down, whether it's his agents, his representatives, Gareth Southgate or whoever, and say, look, there's a European Championship coming up next summer. If you want to be involved in that, you've got to play football. You're not going to play football this season. And just from his perspective, United want to play a certain way of playing out from the back, and that's just not what he is capable of. That's not his style. He can't play over high line, and he can't play passing out from the back that well, and those mistakes are going to happen more often than not when it comes to him. So I think that just kind of encapsulated that it's done. It's over for him at United, and he needs to realise that, and people around him have to realise that too. But I do give him credit for the second half of persevering on, and he assisted Facundo with that goal, so I think that's a credit to him and a credit to his mentality, but I don't think that overshadows still what is the glaring issue, and that is that he needs to leave United for the sake of his career and for the betterment of United, I think, as well. So we go into half-time, 1-0 down because of that, and then frankly in the second half, Bilbao are comfortable for the majority of that game, really. In the end, they get a red card, justifiably so. I saw listening to the commentary that I was listening to, they're saying, oh, it's a friendly, that's not fair. No, it absolutely was fair. You're still playing by the rules. Hannibal had nicked the ball off him, the defender, and he pulls him down. It's a red card. But even though they were down to 10 men, we still don't really threaten all that much until right at the very last minute again, Harry Maguire gets it to Facundo, and Facundo puts the ball away. On Facundo Pellistri, I've been a big advocate that I think he should stay this summer. I think he should rival Anthony on the right-hand side. The reason I really like Facundo Pellistri is because he's different than what we've got on the right. In the same vein of Alejandro Garnacho on the left, that's direct, picks up the ball, wants to run at defenders, go at defenders, get the ball in the box. Isn't the finished article, isn't the end product right now, but he's different, and we need different. And it's not a knock on Anthony or anything like that, because I think Anthony was really, really good in the second half yesterday. Got a goal and got an assist as well. But you need versatility and you need things that are different. And I think Facundo is different and a different kind of option on the right-hand side. So I thought he did well. He looked lively. He'd probably get my man of the match today. I was impressed by him. Christian Eriksen also as well. I was impressed by Eriksen because I think people look to how Eriksen finished last season and think that's him. Oh, his legs are gone now. He can't run around anymore. Christian Eriksen is still one of the best technical footballers we've got at the club. When Eriksen came in last season, he was a revelation earlier on in the season. I think back to those home games against the likes of Liverpool and Arsenal, where he was absolutely instrumental in getting those victories because he was the pass before the pass. He had that ability to pick out passes and try cross-field balls and be able to do things, again, that other people weren't capable of doing. And Christian Eriksen still is that. He still is like that. Yes, we need more legs for certain games. That's why we've brought in Mason Mount. That's hopefully why we're going to be bringing in Amrabat, because we need more legs in those areas. But Eriksen certainly has a part to play, and I thought he did well. Donny van de Beek only played 45 minutes today. I think that might be, unless we find out something when it comes to an injury or something like that, a knock. Maybe that does signal that it might be the last time he plays in the United shirt. Talks are ongoing for El Sociedad. But I thought he did well. I thought Van der Beek in the last 3 games of pre-season against Madrid, Dortmund and today, I think he's looked lively. He looked sharp. His feet were good today. So again, it doesn't change anything about his United future. I don't think there is one for him. And I think he just needs to play. I think a bit like Maguire. You need to go and bet on yourself. Go to another club. It's not worked out. That's no fault on you, of your quality or anything like that. Sometimes it just doesn't work out for whatever reason. We can get in the weeds about that, but it hasn't worked out. Donny, I think, would actually do really well at Sociedad. I think that's a perfect move for him. Bit of a less physical league, more of a technical league, and I think that suits him perfectly. But I thought he did well today too, and now we focus on the season ahead. I mean, it's difficult to take too much from this game in terms of that Wolves game. I saw people being a bit down and disappointed with that. A lot of these players won't start against Wolves. I mean, maybe you could argue Wan-Bissaka might come in for Dalot. I don't even think Eriksen will probably start against Wolves. So realistically, a lot of these players won't play anyway. It was just about sharpness for them. And I don't think really anyone made enough of a good argument to be like, they should be starting against Wolves realistically. I think there was arguments to be made by the likes of Eriksen that he's going to definitely have a part to play. Facundo, that I think he should stay. Wan-Bissaka and Dalot seemingly are still like this, considering Dalot made a mistake yesterday and Wan-Bissaka did all right today. So that one's still going to be close. He might be the only one that might get in the team. So again, there's difficult things to take away from that. But it's a draw and pre-season's over, and now on to the main season.